This is the video series where I analyse subscribers' games. If you're interested, post your games in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. Thanks a lot to 2 subscribers for submitting their games. Our subscriber has white and starts with d4 and black plays e5. The England Gambit. Take queen e7. Black is a very aggressive, very tricky player. But our subscriber is having none of it. Knight f3, defend the pawn. Knight c6, you plan to get it back straight away. Knight c3, good move. Not even going for any of this bishop f4 stuff. You don't need to go for this when you can just play a normal good move. You don't need to actually defend your pawn. Because when you play knight c3, you go knight d5 and you just attack the guy straight away. By the way, h6 was played. Maybe black was afraid of the bishop coming to g5 to attack the queen. Maybe that's why it was played. One option is, I was wondering why not take. It's because you can just play knight d5. That's exactly what's going to happen later in the game anyway. Take, and then e4, and we have a very well placed knight in the center. The bishops can come out. At the moment, black's pieces are not doing too much. You can pin and then keep playing from here. Even queen d4 you could take. You can keep the bishop, castle later. White is good. Back to the game. Knight c3 played, h6 and e4. Bishop coming out. So notice our subscriber's not defending the pawn. There's no need to. Queen e6. So a very confusing move from black. I have no idea what queen e6 does. You're stopping the bishop coming out, but you might as well take the pawn at the same time. Bishop b5, take. Castle, take. If we look at this position, our subscriber, Vincent, has done everything right in this game. A knight, bishop, queen, and has castled, but really, black has done nothing. Black has moved the queen a few times, got your pawn back, but all the pieces are still at home. a6, bishop back. Now the bishop has another chance to reroute on this diagonal. b5, bishop b3, attack the queen, and this is a very good decision from white to not trade queens. It is move 11. Black has made too many queen moves. Retreating the queen is one of the best decisions in the game. Because when you do this, this queen is going to have to move again. I mean, that knight, it should come out later, but later we're going to attack this queen. Bishop d6, knight d5. That is exactly what happens. Queen e5, threatening checkmate in 1. But white can attack the queen at the same time, yet again with f4, blocking the checkmate. Queen d4, check, king in the corner, bishop b7. Black is starting to get the pieces in the game. We're going to castle soon. Rook d1, you attack the queen, good move. e5, attack the bishop. Notice all of white's moves have been just attack. That's what happens when your opponent doesn't get their pieces out in the right way. Bishop e7, attack the queen, and now a4, good move. This is a great move because when you play this, the rook is finding a way to get in the game. And black now plays castles. Looks like you're just castling straight into the attack. There are so many arrows here. Let me explain every one. So we got the green, blue, and the red. Okay, so first up. Ideas of capturing on a5, so then the rook is available on the a file. This knight is very well placed, attacking bishop and pawn. The blue arrow, bishops are slicing the board, and also the rook defends the knights. Still got a few pieces at home for black. Take, and rook d3. This is the second best move of the game, I would say. This is called a rook lift. Rook f1 to d1 to d3, now to c3, attacking the queen and also attacking the pawn. Rook d3 is a great move from Vincent. Bishop c5, rook c3, let's pin the bishop to the queen. d6. At the moment, there are no clear entry squares for white, so Vincent now goes rook d1. By the way, queen f2 was possible as well. I like that move. It's just you're putting pressure on that file. If take, then you can just take back. Knight and rook still attack that point. The funny thing, the queen is trapped. If queen here, we can use this check. Very nice check to win the queen. Let's go back 3 moves here. Rook d1, good move. Queen d7, and we can take. Take on c5 is very clean. If you take, we have this very nice tactic. That's why Vincent put the rook on the d file. Now we go knight b6 check, and we can win the queen. We can even come in. Just come in, man. Just come in with e6. White is completely winning. So back 3 moves here. Bishop takes. That's why black chose to get rid of the knight. But now you take back a couple of bishops slicing in the direction of the king, c6. He doesn't even take it because we have a beautiful discovered check from Vincent. Attacking this, and then we can take. Now we are winning check. Always got to be careful in this position. It's a check king here, and black has a threat back rank mate in 1. So just be careful. Just stop it with rook d3. Bishop takes, c6, and now another great move. Third great move of the game. Bishop takes d6. You don't need to move your bishop. You go here, use the pin, and you know what? This is the 4th great move of the game. It's a beautiful final move because the 2 bishops are killing the black king. Queen takes b5, check. Using the pin on this diagonal, and black resign. A totally crushing victory from Vincent. The king moves out of the way. That is mate. If you go in the corner, same thing, mate. And we actually can use the bishop to give mate. So a crushing victory. So let's quickly summarize this game before moving to game 2. The opponent plays the England Gambit, not a great opening, and knight c3 is a great move. You don't even defend the pawn, there's no point. There's just no point. Just want to show you this opening trap here. Check, a lot of people have fallen for this. Attacking the queen and the bishop. If you play queen d2, you're losing. Because take and you attack the rook. You might ask, well, what's the big deal? You defend the rook that way, bishop b4, that's the problem. And you lose your queen. So our subscriber plays all good moves, and yep, wonderful position here. Drop it back, attack the queen. Good decision to not trade. Attack the queen, king in the corner, attack the queen, attack the bishop, attack the queen, attack the pawn, attack, rook d3, cool. Third best move of the game, rook swing, pin, defend, everything in the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All in the game, man. All in the game. Take, and we have this beautiful crushing victory here. Time control for the second game, 5 minutes for both sides, plus 2 seconds per move. Our subscriber has the white pieces, 21.93 versus 14.35. When our subscriber submitted this game, maybe he thought his opponent was cheating, playing a few really good moves for 14.35. That's also my opinion, having looked at this game. Do we suspect black of cheating? Let me know in the comments below. 5 minutes plus 2 seconds, d4, knight f6, bishop f4, d5. We have the London, knight f3, c5. An aggressive way to play with black. An option is to play queen b6. That's not what happened in this game, but that is one purpose of playing an early c5, c3, e6. e3, we get triangle pawn center in the London. By the way, if you guys are interested, I made a London video, so I will attach it as a card to this video in the top right corner and at the end as well if you want to watch another video. Knight c6, h3. Not the best move actually. It looks okay because you're planning to retreat the bishop, but it's not actually the best move. Knight d2 is better. You don't really need to fear this because you don't actually need to move it. You could just go here because after take, now the h file is open. Now you might be asking, well, what is the big deal with h3? Well, the point is now black plays bishop d6. And normally in the London, you want to retreat the bishop, but this isn't that great now. You've got doubled pawns here. If we go back 2 moves, if you didn't play h3, bishop here, now bishop retreat. This is a normal retreating move in the London, because after take, you can take back. And your pawns are now intact. You've got the h file for the rook. So back to the game, h3, bishop d6, knight in, castle, and knight d2. Queen c7, good move from the opponent. Putting pressure on this diagonal. Now after knight f3, c4 was played. To be honest, I did not expect that move. I would have played something flexible like b6 and bishop b7 and then rotate the knight over. Keep the tension in the center. So this is a very surprising move in my opinion. You have a very long pawn chain for black. You can get the knight in the middle. The truth is in this position, white has a firm grip. You got 3 pieces on that square. black has 3. Bishop e2 and now knight e7. So cool move. This is what I've played in the past. If I have the black pieces, you're going to rotate the knight to g6, trying to put pressure on this knight in a different way. So knight e7 is nice, queen c2, and b5 getting space. Now if knight g6 actually here, maybe this is all right. Take, take. So you can't do this because you can actually come back. Take, 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 and now we play this. So even though I'm saying you move the knight to g6 to challenge, you've got to be careful, don't challenge yet. And now white actually has a big position, something like this, f4. You know what, you might even go h4, h5, which a lot of top players play anyway. This is a good move in this position because there is a pawn on g6. This is known as a hook. Back to the game. Queen c2, b5, castle, a5, rook e1. Black is creating a little something, something over here. Knight e8. Kicking the knight away with f6. Now I don't know if a 1435 will play this, so maybe that's why our subscriber is thinking there's a little bit of cheating going on. Knight e8 is a difficult move to play for 1435. That's just my opinion as well. The point of this is you're going to go f6 and then win a pawn. That's actually what happened in the game. That's why in this position you've got to retreat the bishop, and after f6 now knight g4, we can see the knight, both knights are actually defending this. So if this capture happens, we can take back. So we're all right. If white can get an e4 in, then we are freeing our position. So black has to play knight d6 or even bishop b7 to stop it. We need a pawn break. Notice both sides have all 8 pawns on the board. Nothing is happening at the moment. Knight g5, our subscriber threatens mate in 1, so g6 stops it. But now comes back because f6 is now a threat. That's the problem. Maybe that's what white realized. f6 is going to fork both knights. So you drop it back and now f6. Black is taking over knight g4. Take, take, take. You've won a pawn. Your queen is well placed. You've got a few moves. Really, black is dominating this position. We've got b4. We can also have h5 just to kick the knight. And then these pieces can slowly come in the game. g3, kick the queen back, knight h4. Good move from our subscriber, putting pressure here. The knight can come in with a check. But the point of knight h4 is if it's white's move now, you're going to play f4 to control the e5 square. But black says, no, we're going to play e5 first. Can't play f4 now. It's not really that good a move. You probably take in the center. You might even go e4 to lock it up. I probably take, so then this is a target. Maybe here, put pressure that way. Another target. Black plays e5, great move. Take, take, and black has a wonderful position. But our subscriber manages to turn it around. Bishop f3, putting pressure here. I think maybe black had a move like g5, because when you attack this, then the rook attacks the bishop. So that was one option. e4, lock it up, and h5. So coming in and now taking over. So black is now completely winning if we count the pawns. Black is 2 pawns up. White now tries to mess it up with knight takes d5, but this doesn't work. It's just chucking a piece, queen e4, trying to get some play. You've got to free your position somehow. So what white has done is get a knight for 2 pawns, trying to open up the position somehow. Queen f7, good move, defending both. Pawn and knight, knight takes g6, attack the rook, but in this moment, that is still being attacked. Knight f6, good move from black. Good in-between move, you don't need to take the rook yet. Let's attack the queen. Queen h4, and now he takes first. Knight e5, attack the queen, and 33 seconds for white, 1 minute for black. Remember, both sides get 2 seconds per move, and here, black blundered. If black just moves the queen away, black is completely winning here. Cancel all the green pieces because both sides have that, and black is up a rook. So that's what could have happened, but blunder. Chuck this queen. Bishop takes bishop, taking the queen. Now the game turns around. So if we consider this situation, queen for 2 knights and a rook, black should be a bit better, but the king's exposed. So let's see how our subscriber turns it around. Rook f8, queen g5, check. Rook g7, queen in, check. Rook f7, plays on, king out the way, check. And rook g7, and now's your chance to pause the video to find the winning move. Can you see it? How can white finish it off straight away? The move is rook e8 check. Checkmate all of a sudden. Take and take. And we got two clumsy rooks in front of the king. No rook can come back to help. So that's quite funny. Don't know if I've ever seen that before, where two rooks block the king's exit. So that was one way for our subscriber to win in style. But queen f5, he missed it. 12 seconds each. Time trouble. g4, h3, g5, and now white is back in business all of a sudden. Was it possible he could have taken the pawn? I think so, but he didn't. Time trouble for both of them. g5, attack the knight. When that happens, let me explain every arrow. You attack this. When that knight moves, the queen can take the knight on d5. Also, we still have this check on the back. So white is now completely winning. What a turnaround. Rook h5, good move to stop the capture, but you throw in an in-between move. Throw in a check first, and then you can take h2. Threatening checkmate. And one option is actually just to take the rook, but both players are so nervous. 10 seconds versus 9 seconds. Rook e1 played. Throws in a check. Everything's hanging. That's hanging. That's not hanging at the moment, but this pawn can also run. Players are getting very nervous now. Rook g1 check, but it's just a check. Take, take, take. Rook, knight versus the queen. We're going to run this guy home anyway. Check, king out the way. Knight f4. Queen e4, great move, great double attack. Gonna pick up the knight, and he does. Now one option is to move the knight, but then f7. You can probably force it home, probably queen here, and then f7. Or actually queen check, and then queen g7, so something like this, check. And if here, that is mate. And if we come up, well, it's over anyway, check, check. And then you can push. Back to the game, check, he loses the knight, and that is game over, guys. That is game over. He's frozen a check, but there's nothing there. Remember, both sides get 2 seconds per move, so nothing to fear here. You are going to win. You're going to beat your opponent if you've got a queen. And here, the guy promoted, and that's it, checkmate. So a turnaround. So quickly summarizing this game before we go to the outro. We have a London. And here is the first key moment to our subscriber. Don't play h3, play a flexible move like knight d2, bishop e2. By the way, if this happens, just want to show you guys, you offer a trade. And this trade is good for white. You've got the a file, you've got 2 pawns in the center, and it's just an endgame. Or I like to say it's a queenless middle game, because both sides have a lot of pieces. So it's not really the endgame. So that's the first key moment. Don't play h3. Let's keep going. This is the next key moment. Our opponent locks it up. Knight e7, and now here, castle, a5. We need a pawn break, you see, that's the problem. We can't get it. I think white should retreat the bishop anyway. Something like this, bishop h2, maybe move the knight, and then maybe even f4. So if this happened, knight here. And a bishop here, maybe f4, something like this. Just deliberately retreating this and then coming back. I know I didn't mention this in the game, but I've just thought of it. So that's one option. Black gets a lot of space, and this is the key moment. Our subscriber threatens checkmate in 1, but now after g6 we're going to attack both. We drop it back and we lose a pawn. Knight h4, good move, but e5, better move from him. Here a lot of attacks. Black is completely winning, and we get this key moment where the guy blunders a queen, and if we keep going, we've seen all this before. Check. Here's the next key moment, checkmate in 2 moves. Very nice tactic with rook e8 check. That was missed by our subscriber, but the game goes on. It is blitz after all. And this is the key turning point, g5, getting another attacker in the game, because queen and rook is not enough, because your opponent has 2 rooks, 2 knights. Let's get another pawn in the attack. G5, game over. Rook h5, but we throw in a check and we pick up the knight. Threaten mate. We can take the rook, but time trouble, boom, 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 and the rest is good. It's good, man, it's good. So thanks a lot to the 2 subscribers who submitted their games. I'm building a community here, so if you guys want your games analysed, please post them in the comments below. I do read the comments. If you guys want to stick around, here is the London video I was talking about. I'm mentioning this because in our second game, our subscriber played the London. So a long time ago I did a video on the London, so you guys might want to check that out.